It's your boy Nanguna in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've got some special news for you guys. Well, Arsenal legend Ian Wright has revealed that Arsenal boss Arsene Wenger benefited from visiting Yoda in France. Well, he praised the revolutionary effect about Arsene Wenger. He said, "We used to get sent to France. I used to have to do a session with the guy. I used to go there for 2 weeks because when you get to 30 or older, he was worried about how you would rehabilitate after you had played games and how to recover. I used to have to go and see a guy. Unfortunately, he has passed away, but it was like going to see Yoda." Most probably they used to take vitamin injections, but I'll come back to it as well. Also, Wright said we used to have vitamin injections right into us, right into our arm, and most probably I think Arsene Wenger was ahead of his time for introducing those measures. Moving on. Well, Kim Kallstrom says something about Mikel Arteta. He says, "I played alongside Zlatan Ibrahimovic for a long time and he's a real pro. But then I came here and I saw professional Mikel Arteta is, wow. He's so committed to the game and so engaged with it as well. I learned a lot just from watching him." Moving on, Phil Jones turned down the chance to sign for Arsenal back in 2011. He says, "I had offers from other clubs. I could have gone to a host of clubs like Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Everton. Sir Alex Ferguson was the last person I spoke to, and I remember walking back out with my agent and saying I want to sign for Manchester United, and thank God for that." Phil Jones never came to Arsenal, because then we would have been stuck with not only Mesut Ozil but Phil Jones with a higher wages and definitely nobody wanting to buy him. Moving on. Well, here's a big part. Arsenal players reject initial pay cut proposals and they are actually considering wage deferrals. That means they'll get whatever the payments that Arsenal don't want them to take right now, they would actually take it at the end of the season. While the Gunners want their squad take a full wage reduction, believed to be in the region of 12.5% for a 12-month period starting from this month itself. Intriguingly, the club are offering to reimburse players the full amount if they qualify for the next season's Champions League. But moving forward, the coronavirus crisis is likely to have a significant impact on the club's finances, illustrated by their opening offer of pay cuts rather than deferrals to players. Arsenal players they have been warned the club faces a very grave situation because of the coronavirus lockdown. That was the warning spelled out to the first team in the pay proposal. But also, Arsenal are looking to save around £25 million by cutting player wages if they do not qualify for UEFA Champions League. Talks continue between Arsenal Football Club executives and the first team squad, who are unconvinced by proposals to offer pay cut. Rather, they would want a deferral. But here's a big part. The club has committed to paying their staffs in full until the end of April. No decisions have yet been announced regarding what will happen to staff beyond the end of the month. Well, Arsenal players are prepared to take a wage deferral, yes, but the biggest problem is the biggest reason is Hector Bellerin. Now, Hector Bellerin is a very important part in that whole situation. Why? Because he is Arsenal's representative for Players Football Association, PFA. So, he says... I'm so sorry. The next season is due to start on August 8th, and although there is an acceptance that it will probably be delayed, the Premier League do not want to go too far into the year, with senior sources insisting that they have to protect the integrity of the 2020 and 2021 campaign. The Premier League season may be completed in a frantic 5-week period when football is played again, with the hope that the teams will still use their own stadium rather than neutral venues. Each team is expected to play around 2 games a week over 35 days. That's too much, isn't it? That would lead to a lot of injuries. Moving on. Well, the proposal was put forward to the Arsenal players with the explanation that the club needs money, and after missing out on Champions League for the 4th season in a row, that would hit club's finances very, very hard. But for the moment, the club has not announced the use of the government furlough scheme for non-playing staff, which suggests an agreement with the players is needed to resolve the matter. Also, the plan was sent to Hector Bellerin, who is Arsenal's representative to the Professional Footballers Association. I'm so sorry, I actually said something else. Hector Bellerin is in charge of the talks with the Gunners hierarchy on behalf of the players, with both parties hoping to reach an agreement soon. So, well, let me know in the comment section what you feel about, should players actually take deferrals or they should actually take a pay cut. I think some would do better with a pay cut, but I don't want a special rule for someone who's earning too much and someone who's low wages. Everything has to be equal because that's exactly what will keep the teams together. I will see you in my next video. Yes, definitely. Yes, these are the news of the day. And if you like it, do subscribe to my channel. If you do not, your choice. But if you're an Arsenal fan, you cannot miss this kind of content because every single day, only about Arsenal. Come on. You don't find those kind of channels any day soon. I will see you in my next video. Until then, cheers.